Welcome to Nara Sports. Keep, loan or sell. The players Arsenal should allow to leave in the 2023 summer transfer window. All the talk surrounding Arsenal as we head into the summer transfer window revolves around who could come into the club to help build on the fine 2022-23 season Mikel Arteta's side enjoyed. But who could go out is equally important, with the Gunners looking to try and raise some extra funds to spend over the coming weeks to help with the next stage of the rebuild. So what should Arsenal do when it comes to potential outgoings this summer? Sell William Saliba, if he doesn't sign a new contract. Even the notion of Arsenal selling William Saliba this summer seems ridiculous. But with the centre-back set to enter the final year of his contract, it could become a distinct possibility should a new deal not be agreed pretty quickly. Hopefully a new deal gets signed swiftly and doubts over Saliba's future are quickly put to bed. But if it can't be agreed before the end of the window, then it makes sense for Arsenal to sell, albeit very, very reluctantly. A player like Saliba being allowed to leave on a free transfer simply can't be allowed to happen. It would be awful to watch the defender walk away for nothing in 12 months' time. So if a contract can't be agreed this summer, the sensible option is for Arsenal to sell while they can still get a relatively high price and then reinvest that money getting someone else in. Sell Granit Xhaka. Ideally, this wouldn't really even be a matter of debate. Given how important Xhaka has been to Arsenal over the past couple of years, on and off the pitch, the sensible thing for the club to do would be to keep him for a season when Champions League football will be on the agenda. A deal between the clubs has yet to be agreed, but given his years of service and the fact Arsenal are planning to spend big in midfield this summer. Keep Thomas Partey. There have been some suggestions that Partey could potentially be moved on this summer following his drop in form over the final weeks of the campaign. But with Xhaka set to leave, it would be far from wise to allow Partey to go at the same time given the amount that has to be done elsewhere in the squad. Partey's form may have dropped during the run-in, but it must be noted he was exceptional for the vast majority of the season. Hopefully he will come back after the summer and get back to his best. Sell Kieran Tierney. This does feel like the right time to sell Tierney. As good as he is and as popular as he is, it's just very clear he does not fit Arteta's system and needs to move on. There will be plenty of interested parties, including Newcastle, and Arsenal should be able to get a very good price for the left-back. That money can then be reinvested to help fund some signings that do fit the long-term project in North London. Keep Emile Smith-Rowe. If Arteta is going to use Smith-Rowe next season, then he should absolutely be kept. It just makes very little sense to sell such a talented young player who not so long ago was one of the stars of the team. It's been a massively frustrating season for the attacker, first due to injury and then due to lack of opportunity. But as long as he works hard next season and gets given the minutes to try and impress, he should certainly be kept. It would be madness to let such a good player go who can operate in a number of positions. Sell Nicolas Pepe. Pepe is now entering the final year of his contract and there is no chance he is going to get another one. So if there is any chance of getting a transfer fee for the winger, who cost a club record £72 million just 4 years ago, then Arsenal have to take it. It does feel doubtful, however, given how high his wage demands are. Sell Nuno Tavares. It's tough to see a long-term future for Tavares at Arsenal. His loan spell with Marseille started well, but fizzled out in the same sort of way his debut season did in North London a year earlier. Tierney's expected departure might open the door slightly for Tavares, but if the market is there and a good offer arrives, it feels like Arsenal should try and make a quick profit on the young Portuguese fullback. Sell Albert Sambi Lokonga. Lokonga's situation is very similar to that of Tavares. It's just very difficult to see him pushing on and making the grade at Arsenal, based on what we have seen from him during his 2 years in England. If a good offer arrives for the Belgian this summer, Arsenal really should accept it and move on. But if that can't be done this summer, then another loan would be the best option. Lokonga needs to play. Keep Reiss Nelson. With Nelson's contract up this summer, Arsenal have been doing all they can to convince the winger to stay. Contract offers have been rejected, but the understanding is that Nelson is now close to committing his future to the club. And that is good news, because Nelson has had a fine season and has shown he can make a big impact, whether that be from the start or off the bench. It's been a good season for Nelson, who looks as confident as he has in a long time. It would have been a shame to lose him on a free transfer. So having him stick around feels like the best option. Sell, Folarin Balogun. In an ideal world you keep Balogun. He's had a superb season on loan with Reims in France and looks like a real talent. But he has just 2 years left on his contract and it looks unlikely that he will commit to a new deal as he now wants regular first-team football guaranteed. That's not going to happen at Arsenal, so if the club doesn't sell this summer his value will drop significantly as he will be down to just 1 year remaining of his deal at the end of next season. Sell, Rob Holding. Holding has had a fine career at Arsenal and remains a massively popular member of the squad. But it was pretty clear when he came into the team towards the end of the season that he is not at the level Arsenal need right now and that he struggles to play the sort of football that Arteta wants from his defenders. The Gunners need to sign a new centre-back and this should be the summer they do it, with Holding moving on to make way, loan, Marquinhos. The young Brazilian went out on loan to Norwich City for the second half of the season and another loan seems the best option for the entirety of 2023-24. He's not going to get many opportunities at Arsenal, especially with Europa League football now off the table. So he needs to go and get regular minutes elsewhere to continue his progress. Another loan to the Championship could be a good option, but maybe a move abroad this time will be very beneficial for the former Sao Paulo starlet. Sell, Charlie Patino. Seeing such a talented academy product leave is never an easy thing to take for supporters, but it's a case of right place, wrong time for Patino when it comes to Arsenal. After such a good season on loan at Blackpool he just wants to keep playing regular first-team football, and he's not going to get that in North London. His pathway is already blocked, and with a couple of big money signings expected to arrive this summer in his position, the pathway will not become clearer anytime soon. Arsenal accept that and that's why they have agreed that he can move this summer, if the right deal can be found. Patino is not expected to command a huge fee, but the crucial thing is Arsenal protect themselves with significant clauses that could see them receive a big amount further down the line should Patino move on again. Sell, Cedric Soares. The Portuguese fullback spent the second half of the season at Fulham, but failed to really make an impression at Craven Cottage. He will not be making the move to West London permanently, so will return to Arsenal this summer ahead of the final year of his contract. He might want to stay and fight for his place, but if Arsenal can find a buyer it would be a good time to move him on loan. Austin Trusty. Trusty enjoyed an excellent debut season in England and earned himself the Player of the Year award at Birmingham City. From an Arsenal point of view, it could make sense to cash in on the defender now if a good offer comes, as it seems very unlikely that he will ever get an opportunity in North London. But it could be better to send the United States international out on another loan to a club at a higher level next season as his value would increase dramatically should he have another good campaign. Sell, Pablo Mari. This has already been agreed, with Mari's move to Monza being made permanent after the Serie A club avoided relegation this season. It's a good move for him and a good move for Arsenal. Sell, Arthur Okonkwo. Loaning Okonkwo out again could be a good option, but that would just be putting things off for another couple of years. With Aaron Ramsdale firmly established as number one and having just signed a new long-term deal, there just isn't a pathway for Okonkwo to the team right now. It's a similar situation to Patino. Ideally you would keep him, but you have to think of things from a player's point of view as well. So if a good deal could be done that includes some significant clauses to protect the club financially in the future, then maybe selling now is the best option for all parties. Thanks for watching Nara Sports. Do not forget to subscribe.